Roll back the clock, oil prices had hit a 12-year low. We saw a fierce fight for market share between the major producers like Saudi Arabia and Russia, and no one was blinking. Now, fast forward, prices have doubled up from their lows, and we see collaboration between OPEC and non-OPEC players. But can it be sustained? We convened some of the major players from the industry for the second CNNMoney Global Energy Outlook.
There has been times in the past where OPEC has taken one action and then a few months later found out that that action was not sufficient and followed up with another action. We will not exclude that. That's why we're meeting again in May.
You're suggesting that potentially, if needed, would you embark on fresh cuts if needed?
If needed, absolutely. If what we think is probable takes place, I believe that it will not be necessary.
Fatih Birol, you put out, and I'm glad we did the panel today, your latest energy outlook for the International Energy Agency, and it said it's too soon to tell when this market will rebalance.
We are seeing that the oil-producing countries are determined to implement the agreement, and this is bought by the market. And we have seen prices increasing $55, $56, even $57. This is fine, but what we have been saying, anticipating another fact we should take into consideration, namely, what does this increase in prices mean for other producers? First of all, U.S. shale oil. We have released our oil market report today, and what we see is, John, December 16, December 17, an expectation of 500,000 barrels per day, 500,000 barrels per day increase in shale oil.
I don't lose sleep that shale is going to come and overwhelm us. I don't think it will. What actually we need is long cycle projects, the projects that need 10 and 20 and $30 billion that are going to be producing the 200, 300, and 500,000 because we have decline. You know, the existing base of 95 million barrels declines between 3 to 5% year on year. That's 3 to 5 million barrels that goes away. So we have to plow in hundreds of billions of dollars a year as an industry to just stay still, let alone to meet the 1 to 1.5 million barrel year-on-year demand increase.
I want to spend a few minutes, if we can, here on the kind of giant elephant that didn't show up to Davos. That would be Donald Trump. I think it's a pretty fair comment. I think there's an inauguration tomorrow that's taking place. It has implications for the energy market. It has implications for relations with Russia. We heard from the Obama administration here in Davos and also from President Obama himself, suggesting that the sanctions that are in place in Russia already should be maintained. That Russia needs to prove it's a common player in the global community. Your thoughts on this last shot across the bow to Russia before Mr. Obama vacates the White House?
The reason why we were not performing that well in the past couple of years is that in the late 2014, we've decided to fully adjust to a new environment for a country, to low oil prices, to sanctions. Total shock to the balance of payments of Russia was 13% of GDP. And we've adjusted to it fully. So if you look at the results of 2016, with oil at 40, we have a positive current account, we have a small fiscal deficit, so sustainable state of the economy. So it also means that we have not only adjusted to low oil prices, but to sanctions. So what we prefer to do at the moment, to concentrate on our own problems, our structural stories within the country. We're not thinking much about the sanctions.
You're not thinking much about the sanctions. Do you expect Donald Trump would be, he's already said he would like to work with Vladimir Putin. This is one of his first measures as president, the first quarter of his presidency, to lift those sanctions so he can work with Russia?
And what do you expect from Mr. Trump? Tell us.
I expect that he has a lot of Twitter feeds, and I'm sure he keeps CNN in his sights. You think it's possible, though, that the sanctions...
We'll see. I don't know.
It's too early to predict that.
Yeah.
Very good. Isabel Kocher, a very quick answer, if we can here. Do you worry that Donald Trump will get the United States out of the COP21 agreement to control the pace of climate change?
Well, I spoke about uncertainty, volatility. Of course, the election of Donald Trump from this point of view is an additional question. If the question is, would it be a risk to see this mega trend, this energy transition really happening? I believe that the answer is no. This mega trend it is sustained by very strong interest. And we could take the example of emerging countries. Imagine for a sub-Saharan country, African country, for example, for some of these countries, they are obliged to fully import from outside their energy resources to fuel their growth. And suddenly they see a new potential, which is on their own territory, which is wind, which is geothermal, which is solar, and which is in fact, a way to fuel the growth without increasing the dependency vis-à-vis neighbors. So that's a key trend, or that's a key interest that will, in my view, maybe I'm wrong, but make this trend absolutely impossible to stop.